Oh, that's probably to let unassuming parties know that other people are recording them.
Yes, that's
That
good.
that
That's
has to be a
good.
thing, right?
Fix that in post though.
No, leave it in there. It's like I told you, it's a two-party consent state.
The two party. Fair
You
enough.
need to consent to being recorded, just like I am consenting to being recorded.
I guess. I mean, now I'm like being act not just my voice, but the video.
But put the
Oh.
bandit filter back on.
Is this when I get naked? Okay.
No, that was a total meme too. The way that your eyes got big. I'm definitely going to screen cap that and use that for a lot of responses to your text messages.
That's fine. That's cool. Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
No, oh yeah, welcome to the show. So
Welcome to
now,
the show.
now we're learning and growing. Now we got the
Yes.
audio going, and now we're on Zoom recording it. That we're going to chop up, put it up on YouTube. I'm gonna have to send a shout out for sure to Catfish, a TV show, because as we were sitting there watching it, I was all like,
Shout outs to Catfish.
why are we like doing audio like some dummies, and then like me just putting that picture in there when we could just be on Zoom and then
Yep.
just do a cat like welcome to 2022. Actually, no, I'm living in 2020 because they were doing it during during COVID, and
Thank you,
now
Catfished.
yeah,
You ever
there's
been
some
catfished, guys?
reruns. Yeah, do you watch that show?
I used to watch this
I
show.
love
I've
I
watched it a
love that
couple
show.
times. Some of it is out of control, man. I'm just like, how do you guys fall for this? But then again, I'm like, I get it. I don't know. It's crazy. You ever been catfished?
Well, here's the thing, like, because I was talking with the lady about that, right? Where it's all like, I'm sure that doing online dating for sure somebody was catfishing me, right? But the thing was that as opposed to like these other people that are on the TV show that are just all like, nah, I can't let it go,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just all like, yo, you playing? And then moving on, right?
Right.
It was just like I was doing online dating, messages back and forth for, a couple days. Hey, we're going to trade numbers within a week. Are we going to meet up or not? If we didn't meet up, then within like 2 weeks then it was just like, nah, dude, like this isn't happening for reals. Yeah. I
Right,
had
right,
some pretty interesting
right.
online dates. One of them, she met me at a bar that I like to go to because I was like, oh, it's pretty safe, right? So
Hmm.
she showed up with two of her friends, and I was just like, hey, what's up? And then she just started like giggling, and like
You're
it
about
was
to be murdered.
yeah, no, it was like weird because it's like I was sitting there facing her like this, and I was like, hey, so and she was just like, if this was her, she was like with her back to me, and she's just like like freaking out. And she was there with two of her
Bro,
friends, and I
you are a
literally
person of
said,
color. You should. That's when you run. All right. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
dude, I asked her friends, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, what's her? And she's like, oh, she's just really nervous to be here. So it's like she was sitting next to me with her back to me, and she was texting me.
No.
Yeah. And her two
No.
friends were there. And I knew the bartender that was working there. And she was just like looking at me like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, oh no.
No.
Yeah. So there's definitely some weird online dating
Almost.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
That was pretty crazy. All right. That's intense.
yeah.
What
But
happened with that?
nothing. They
Bye.
left. They left, and I was already at like one of my favorite bars. I just continued go, 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 go. I
Dang.
got a good impersonation of me from those days.
Hmm.
Wait. Hi, Homer.
That's you, huh?
I don't know why you magic he's got the stars, but I like it.
Those are the good old days, man. Those are the good
Oh,
old
Barney
days.
Simpson.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right,
But
a lot
oh,
of memories.
so we were talking about catfish, right?
Yes.
Into it, right? All the drama, everything. But then I had to like up the drama with the lady, right? And we started watching 90 Day Fiance. Do you watch
We're
90 Day
watching that too.
Fiance?
We're watching
Well,
that too.
well, that got to a point where it wasn't enough for me. So now we watch Love After Lockup.
Oh my god. You just feed. Come on. I need more. I need more.
Well,
Give me more.
it's like the level of drama has to
Yes.
like progressively get higher,
It's going
right?
worse and worse.
So Love After Lockup is like 90 Day Fiance, but with people that are like in prison and jail,
Ah,
right? So there's like these
ah.
online forums and these online
See,
chats and
everybody can find love.
oh dude,
Everybody.
everywhere. So they're going on there and they're like writing to these like inmates and stuff, sending them money and whatever. And then the show has everything leading up to that with all the red flags, and you're seeing it in real time, and everyone's warning them, like, don't do this, this is a terrible idea, whatever. And then they get out, and then it follows their lives when this person is like either at the halfway house or getting paroled to their
No.
house. And then all the drama that unfolds with all of that, with people going back to prison, people like ghosting people, people like just taking all their money and running.
Oh,
And
you're getting
like,
conned, getting
oh my
scammed, getting
God,
used.
I am such a bitch when it comes to this stuff. I fucking love it. Lady and I, we sit down,
Yeah.
and every Friday, it's usually like I'm watching women's entertainment television. That's the name of the network.
Oh my god! But
Women's
they
entertainment.
got that shit on
Oh,
there. So
dude, I got my little pendant flag, and I'm like, I'm about to lock up. Let's do this.
that's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get into
Oh,
that. You
you.
gotta watch 90 Day Fiance. I'm just like,
Uh-huh.
bro, like how are you guys getting through this? You know, there's something else going on. Like, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't. What the shit these people put up with people that they just met overseas? I'm like, really? And you could do
What?
so much better.
That's the
Like,
thing.
what?
I'm sure there's a lot of people who have a lot of success with this stuff, right?
Yes.
But the type of people that they're casting for these shows,
They, you know, I told that to my lady. I'm like, no, these people are off, and I don't
yeah,
like. And I'm not talking shit, but I'm serious. They are off. There's something wrong with them,
yeah. Like
and if nobody sees that, then you're wrong. I'm sorry.
one of them, the chick, I don't know what season you're on or whatever, but the one who is like dating a girl in Australia,
Yes.
she was selling her farts in a jar online.
I think
And
I've heard of that,
yeah, and
and
then she was
I
like,
think I brought it up to my lady. I think that's something we're gonna look into for a side hustle. So, I think
augmenting
it's
cash.
something we should talk about. We'll put a pin on that, a long pin, and don't judge.
And
Okay.
then that's that screenshot that I took that turns into a meme. It's like Grayzee farts.
Crazy parts.
they only
Oh
cost
man. I
they
mean,
only
hey,
cost
people buy
five
them.
they only cost five dog coins.
It's five Dogecoins, please. To the moon.
Bing bing bing.
Bro, I'm just saying. People buying farts though?
Yeah,
Farts.
yeah.
So there's a market for it. Let's do it. I'm gonna
Just be
convince my
careful because
chick.
that girl, she had to go in the hospital because she was like taking so much like protein and stuff
Oh,
to get her
gross.
farts like nice and pugnant that she started having like stomach problems and she
Dude,
had to
this
go to
is
the
real life.
hospital.
This is real life. How much do you think? How much you make? Do you know how much you made doing that?
I don't know. Like I can Google it.
Yeah,
Let's
or
see.
Bing it. How about that?
It's a callback to
Don't sleep
episode
on
0.
Bing.
Let's
All
see.
right.
90-day fiance
I mean,
farts.
I just that's in your Google
Farts
search
in a
history
jar.
for
Farts
life.
for sale. Farts in a jar.
That's in your search
uh,
history for life.
uh,
Yes.
let's see. 90 Day Fiance star Stephanie Mato went viral when she started selling on, or when she shared on TikTok that she made over $100,000 selling her farts in a jar.
No.
But the unusual business landed her in the hospital.
100K to shit in a jar.
Well, she farted, but
No, homie. Okay.
she's
Some
also
fucking
an
shit
attractive
particles is shooting out of her ass. That's what that is.
she's also a pretty attractive blonde girl. So like,
Is she
I
now?
think she's got something on you.
Well, that's why I said I'm gonna have my chick do it if she's down, but she's definitely not down. I gotta do some more convincing.
Yeah, but then that's going to be one of the things where it's all like says hers, but then you guys are both going to be like pitching in and
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes.
You're going to get
Like, I got a
that's
headache. I can't do it
yeah.
tonight. I got you, boo.
You're going to be feeling like Alabada to Storm and Trooper to get some parts out of them.
Everyone loves their own brand, don't they?
Oh, like like South Park, Integrity Farts.
Yes. You ever go
We
into
do
the
it with
apartment
integrity.
building and you smell somebody else's cooking and you go, gee, what are they cooking? That plus crap.
Oh man.
Understand
I,
that reference.
it only took us like 3 episodes to just like totally degrade to like fart humor, like potty jokes.
But it's not even funny. It's like
Uh,
what's existing right now. It's like that's what's out there.
It's like we're pulling all the safety cords, like farts,
Derail it.
Austin Powers. What?
Derail. We are off track. We are off track. People are tuning the fuck out
Hey,
right now.
what's happening? Just like everything. The Muppets, Waka Waka.
Bro. Okay. All right. Focus. We're good.
So let's see. So at its core, it is about video games, right? So what are you playing right now?
I still do my versions of Call of Duty. I still try. Slowly, sometimes getting better. Awesome. I'm up to 30 followers. That's pretty
Sure.
cool. Um,
That's
and
30 more
people,
than zero.
yes, and like legit people too. It's like people that enter my chat and talk to me, and it's like, holy cow, this is awesome. So, and then they watch me die all the time. It's pretty funny. I also play in Grand Theft Auto,
Oh
and
yeah.
then I, to everybody's surprise, I have yet to enter a strip club. Thank you, thank you. So I'm actually saving up money because I was when I enter there, I don't want to leave there. That's every time I turn the game on, that's where it's gonna pick up right there. So that's I want to have that much money. So I'm saving all my dimes.
Oh
Um,
man. So
and I'm
so
thinking,
you're not that far into you're playing GTA 5, right?
yes,
Is your
yes, I'm
first
not
time
that
playing
far.
it?
I'm doing missions. I was thinking, I was like, because if you look on Twitch and if you look at titles, GTA 5 is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is going on? And I realize I'm just playing the story right now. I'm getting the map. I'm
Yeah.
learning the areas. These people are, people are watching. They're established people that have bank and running shit. I'm like, okay, well, I feel like the free guy right now. I'm starting way at the bottom and got to work my way up. So, but now I understand a lot more references to free guy. Like I understood the game. I mean, the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I understand a lot more after playing GTA 5. I'm like, oh man, that movie's brilliant.
Oh yeah, yeah, because the online really took off.
Yeah,
Like really, yeah. But yeah, I don't play as much online, but when GTA 5 came out, I was MIA for a month.
right.
Like,
I've always tried to play it, and I would get so far, and then put the sticks down, and play something else, or just put the sticks down in general. And then every time I picked it back up, I will start a new game. So I'll be starting over just to learn the controls. But this time I'm gonna stick with it. And
who's your
then
favorite character so far?
uh I mean Snoop. I mean Snoop. Man, this motherfucker's awesome. Then it took me a minute. I'm like, man, this motherfucker sound like Snoop Dogg. Is that Snoop? Yes. So far.
Nice. Yeah, Trevor is like batshit crazy, huh?
Trevor. Which one's Trevor?
Oh, have you the fucking a loco white guy who lives out in like Ocotillo,
I don't
like
think I met him yet.
Palm Desert? Oh, dude, wait till you get a hold of that guy.
Wait, Trevor. Trevor. Is that the one that blew up the guy's fucking face with the cell phone? His name's not Trevor.
Well, there's three main characters in
Right.
GTA 5. There's Michael, who's the mobster guy.
I think it's
Because when you play in the beginning, remember he was part of that heist,
yes, that guy.
right? And then he
Yes.
went to prison and gets out, right?
Yes.
And then or is it was he? Yeah, he went to prison. He got caught, right? In the
No.
intro sequence. 'Cause
No,
it
he got
starts with
away.
okay, or did he snitch?
I think he snitched. Man, see, now I got to see this shit like this is why
Oh,
I gotta start over.
well,
Um,
well, Michael,
is it
he's
Michael?
cool, and then you meet Franklin,
Franklin. There we go.
Yeah,
Snoop.
Franklin's the man. But then wait till you get
Franklin's
to
Franklin's awesome.
Trevor. Trevor is just like on a whole nother a whole nother level.
Dude, it's not even Snoop, but he sounds like Snoop.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
yeah,
call him Snoop. You can't tell me that's not Snoop.
yeah, yeah. Franklin, he's living out like in, it's like Ocotillo slash like Palm Cathedral City, Palm Desert. Like
Trevor.
when you're going, it's like, when you're in the desert going out to like Palm
Oh, I
Springs,
haven't
that's
met
supposed to
this
be
guy
like where
yet.
he lives. Yeah, that guy's a complete fucking psychopath. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Franklin. Nah, my favorite guy is Snoop
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for you because yeah, like
so
when that
far.
game came out, I was playing like probably like 6 hours a day, like to the point where it was like almost unhealthy how much I
Yeah?
was playing. And even on my days off, I was just burning through like some 8 hour
See,
sessions.
I'm having trouble with it because it's like I've been playing COD for the last 2 years and it's so fast paced.
Hmm.
And then this is like slowing down and just fucking doing a story again.
Well, but
So
it's worth that. I love that game.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun. I'm refraining from going to the strip club. Um, so and then also I think I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna start playing Arkham. Arkham, the dark fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Where is it at? I have it up here somewhere. Just in just in light of the new Batman movie that came out, I'm just and that's like pretty hot topic right now. So I think I'm gonna play Batman Arkham Asylum.
Have you
I
played it
have it
before?
somewhere. I have, and again, it's like one of those where you play it for a certain amount of time, you put it down, you forget all the buttons, because that's a complex game. I mean, between Batman himself and the Batmobile does so much in that game.
Oh,
And then
you're talking about Arkham Knight, the
Arkham
third
Knight
one.
is it Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Asylum's the first one. And
Okay.
that one's the one where you're just like on foot the whole time. And then the second one
No, yeah, I have
is
the Batmobile and
you're
the shit.
you're in the city, and then the third one, that's the one where it's like totally free open world.
Yes, that shit. That's what I'm playing. Oh, that's what I'm gonna start playing.
Wow.
Again, start playing again. So I'm gonna have to start that over. I'm actually gonna think about starting it tonight, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, dude, yeah, like those games, especially the first one,
Yeah,
that shit was huge to me. Like I was so excited for that game. I bought actually, man, I'll have to dig it out and I'll show you next. You have to remind me next episode. I'll show
yeah,
you. But I bought this like special edition version of it. It's this giant bat like case, and you open it up, the game's in there, and then they had a batarang from the
really.
game. And initially, when we pre-ordered it, the batarang was supposed to be a full-scale replica, that like actual metal batarang. And
Hmm.
then that's how old it is. Arnold Schwarzenegger shot it down because some parents were like, "Oh no, kids could hurt themselves and whatever." So last minute, they delayed the game. They took it out. They put these plastic ones in it, and they were all scratched up. And everyone was returning them to GameStop because they were like, "Yo, my fucking batarang's all messed up, whatever." And it was supposed to be like, since they couldn't put the metal ones in there that looked like
uh,
they were like worn, they
yeah.
were just like these plastic ones, and they like scraped them
Uh,
up to make them look worn, but it literally looked like somebody just like threw them on the ground a little bit and then put
That's
it in a
probably what they
box.
did is dumped a whole
And
box of them.
dude,
Playing those for a little bit.
everyone was so mad.
Oh
But
wow.
it's this dope box. I'll show you. I'll remember next time,
Yeah.
because like I don't even know where it is. I mean, it might be some. Yeah, I have no idea where it is. But I do have it, and
Yeah.
that game, I was so stoked with that game, like because in lifelong Batman fan,
I'm trying to find
I
it. I know I have it somewhere here in
dude,
this whole sea of PlayStation games.
every
Um,
time I unlock like a new ability or a new gadget or something, I was literally like yelling at the screen because I was so excited.
times. Let's see. Just Dance. Oh. Ah, there we go. Oh, look at that. I just had to look for a little bit. Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah, that was the
Yes.
third one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good one.
This one is intense. It's intense, everybody. Just from what I remember, I haven't played this in about 2 years, but
Oh, dude.
I am gonna put that in, fire up that Batmobile, and see what's going on in Gotham. But speaking of Batmobiles,
Oh yeah,
speaking
let's
of
get to it.
Batmobiles,
That's what everyone's waiting for.
oh, I don't know, I don't know. Are we doing a movie review? You want to do a movie review of this?
Yeah, full
You want
full
to talk about this?
spoilers,
A full
full
spoiler?
spoilers and everything. So if you haven't seen Batman, you can go ahead and turn it off now.
Right, yeah, because we're gonna get into some detail. Non-spoiler review. Let's do a non-spoiler for the people who want just a little quick non-spoiler. What do you think of the movie so far? What did you think of the movie? How many times did you see it?
I've seen it twice. I saw it again last night.
That's 6 hours of your life.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I went to the Tuesday IMAX fan event
Mm-hmm.
and I got my Batman NFTs from AMC for doing that. Shout out to AMC, sponsor me, give me money.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I went to that one and then I went again yesterday. And I went with like some fresh eyes yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I could understand most people that are here's biggest gripe is that it is too long.
Yeah.
And seeing it again with fresh eyes, I could totally see that. But I also have a little bit of a defense as to like why I think it's so long.
Right.
But overall, my non-spoiler review of the movie is even with any issues that people have with it, they took
Mm-hmm.
the best things about Batman and put him in one movie.
That's solid. That's solid. Um. Okay. I liked it. All right. I liked it. It was a good movie. It was very long, and it's just unpopular opinion. I wasn't head over heels in love with the movie, but I definitely liked it. It wasn't like a trash movie. Don't get me wrong, but it had some issues, and yeah, we could talk about them. I mean, I'm sure you can educate me because I think I'm doing a lot of comparing to still, but I definitely see what you mean. But they took the best parts of Batman and put it in one movie. Um, I definitely enjoyed. I mean, the cinematography of this movie is out of control. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Um, the acting was great. So I do have one of the main issues that everybody else has is it was about 40 minutes too long. But that's about it. I mean, we can get into some spoilers now. We can talk about that.
Okay. Yeah. So why don't we take it back from the very beginning?
Yeah.
Movie opens, they're playing like was it Ave Maria? Right.
Yes.
Like church
Yes.
music and stuff, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
giving you kind of like the fake out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get introduced to the Riddler. What did you think of the Riddler and his costume and stuff?
So that first thing, because I went to go see it with my daughter,
Hmm.
and true story, we were watching that scene, and she looked over and she goes, "This guy's scary," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, he is. This is legit." And what a 180 from the Batman Forever Riddler. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, they came with it. Shouts out to Paul Dano. I mean, wow, he really brought it on this, and I will give him credit with that. All right, and I was surprised that they were going that gritty and that dark with it. I was like, okay, and it hooked me from the beginning. I was like, okay, I don't even know what kind of movie we're about to do, and then not even just that. I mean, just how they introduced Batman, the voiceover. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It was so comic booky. It was so traditional comic book. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
could pretty
I see
much
what you're
see
doing.
like the text bubbles like in the corner of the
Yes,
screen while he's
yes. I'm like,
talking.
okay, I see what you're doing. I like this, and it kept me hooked that way. And like when they when they used the bat symbol as as a symbol of fear, like, hey, this is not just hey, we're calling Batman. This is like, hey, we're scaring everybody around here with this. You don't know where this fool's coming out. I love that, dude. I love that. So yeah, they had me hooked at the beginning. I loved it. I loved that. And then when he walked out of the shadows, and you just hear him walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's fucking that build up. I'm like, oh, and you can just hear like you can hear. How can I describe it? I don't know. You can hear like the weight of his suit. You know what I mean?
Oh
It's like
yeah.
boom, boom. I was like, oh fuck yeah, bro. He's about to fuck these fools up. So yeah, I love that. Don't get me wrong. That Batman, that detective, that ass gritty, this Batman, and yet he was still beginner, and
Oh yeah.
that shit shows. You know, he's still loose cannon a little bit.
Yeah. Was that it? They kind of had reference to it, right? Because it's trying to pronounce her at the top of my head, but like Marconi,
Mark,
that the gangster dude.
Falcone.
No. Falcone was the one who stuck around, but the other guy, Marconi, that was a dude from like Batman Year One,
Okay.
where it's
Right, right,
like,
right, right, right.
where it's like the Frank Miller story of like Batman's first year. And
Yeah.
then, he has that whole thing where he like busts in on the mobsters and he was all like, your dinner's over, your time here with
Yeah.
this shit's over, and a fucking explosion and all that shit. Taking that dude down. Right.
Right.
There's like a reference to year one happening. The dude Falcone, he's from Batman the Long Halloween.
Right.
So that was like
Which is
another comment.
correct me if I'm wrong, which is roughly what this movie is
Well, they
based off of.
and that's what I'm talking about. Like the best things about Batman, right?
Right.
Like they took suit elements from the video games, the
Mm-hmm.
tech
Mm-hmm.
stuff from the video games, right? Like straight up ripped out, like the whole detective mode and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had comic elements where they're referencing year one, right? They were referencing like somewhat the Court of the Owls, which is
Right.
like from the New 52,
Okay.
where it was that like Bruce Wayne potentially had a brother who was crazy that the Waynes put in the Wayne orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
And then this whole storyline is like there's like some blue bloods, like old school, old money families who had this like kind of like cult thing going on. And
Okay.
they had these like assassins that worked for them. That was a Court of the Owls. So then they're like, number one assassin dude, you don't know if it's really Bruce Wayne's brother or not. So they kind of
All right.
reference to that. So that's kind of like that character and that setup. They were kind of using it with the Riddler, where it's like the
Okay.
Riddler was in the shadows at the asylum and kind of outing them, kind of not. So you had that going on too. And then on Batman Earth One, because our Earth is Earth Prime, there's Batman Earth One. And in
See,
that
folks,
one,
this is why he educates me, enlightens me. This is awesome. Go ahead, dude. Go
yeah,
ahead. Let me hear
and
this shit.
in that one, that's where they touch heavy on Martha Wayne being an Arkham,
Uh-huh.
right? Like part of the Arkham family.
Right,
And
right,
they
right.
allude to her being kind of like a wackadoo.
Right.
And then Batman's kind of a wackadoo. And Batman on
Right.
Earth One, he isn't as like Bat God as everyone knows, like the omnipotent, like Batman could do everything. Like this guy,
Right.
he's a little less coordinated. He kind of sucks sometimes at what he's doing. And like one of my favorite panels from a comic like ever was from the Earth One trade that I have. And you're flipping through it. And you know how Batman always says that thing to Jim where they're like talking and then Jim turns around and he's gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So in this comic, Jim's talking and he turns around and Batman's still standing there. And then he's just all like, oh, this is kind of awkward. He's like, I'll see myself out. And he fucking
Oh yes, I like that guy. It sounds like the
yeah.
Pete Holmes Batman.
Yeah. All he does is think about that.
Honest, I love that guy.
Yeah. So they took a lot of those elements and they kind of like took the best, they cherry picked like the best things
Yeah.
about him and kind of put them together.
Right. 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 Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, and then they got some really good villains. I mean, holy shit, Penguin. All right, can we
Oh,
just
dude.
talk? Just take a minute. Talk about Penguin. Like Colin Farrell. Wow, bro.
I'm not gonna clap into the microphone because I don't
Yeah.
like it, but yeah, golf
Wow,
clap.
bro. I mean, I was trying to look for this dude's face in there in the prosthetics. Unrecognizable. Good job to him.
Oh yeah, and I like how he was like patronizing him with like his Robert De Niro voice, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, world's greatest detectives."
Did you know Spanish?
No habla.
No, habla. Yeah, I love that. You guys know I'm still here, right? Yeah, yeah, that guy was good. What did you think about Catwoman?
Oh, she's great.
It's
I
great.
mean, she's a dime for sure. She's beautiful,
Time and a
but
half.
on top of that, she delivered it,
She
right?
did. She did
And
good.
I know some of the dialogue wasn't like the best, like because they gave her some of those lines, just all like, "Oh, you're a real sweetheart," or like
Yeah, yeah,
whatever, where they were like kind of corny lines, but she
yeah.
still sold it in a way that I was picking it up. I was taking it.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I just think I think the first half, man, they had me hooked. As far as I was invested. I was invested to see where this is going, and I love the like I said, the detective side of it. And then I don't know, it just started falling off a little bit.
All right, well, here
And
we'll go chronologically. So we have the first murder. We get introduced to Batman. He shows up. He starts solving the riddles and stuff like that. We meet
right,
Alfred. Alfred was pretty badass, right?
Alfred was good. We didn't see him that much, but for what we did see, I mean, he did his thing.
Oh yeah, and we met Catwoman. She
Yes.
was awesome. We go to the club. That was pretty gangster in the club, right? Where he shows
Right.
up and they like close the door on him and stuff like that, and he
Right. 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 Right.
beats his way in there. So then, um, let's see, yeah, the club, meet Penguin, and then that's when our mystery kind of starts unfolding,
Hmm.
right? So, what would you say where things kind of slow down for you? Like, maybe when Catwoman goes back to the club for recon.
uh, no, I don't. Let's see. So after that happens, what happens after the recon?
Well, it's like they kind of like split up, and then
Hmm.
he continues like going down his thing, and the whole like thumb drive, that was a pretty awesome one.
Yes, but that was before that though, wasn't it?
Maybe
Yeah, the thumb drive part
um,
that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny.
yeah, all of that
Um,
kind of going back and forth, and then she goes back to the club the second time, right? And then that's when dude, the it's not the district, was he the district, yeah,
the
the
DA.
district attorney,
Yeah.
he gets kidnapped by the Riddler,
Yes.
and then they go to the funeral.
Yes,
And when
that
they
was
go to the
awesome.
funeral, that's
I
when
loved all
dude
that.
drives in
Yes.
and stuff, and he has a bomb strapped to his neck.
Hmm. I loved all
Oh,
that.
you know a part that was terrifying, and you didn't even see it like in the movie when they had the video for the police commissioner dying or him getting messed with, and they show him with like the cage
Oh yeah,
on
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
head with the
Yes.
rats.
That's
Did you ever?
horrible because they cut it off before they even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucked up, dude. What
Did
a
you
way to
ever?
go.
Did you ever read 1984?
No.
Yeah, I remember reading that in high school, and that was one of the things that they were doing. Like, it was like one of the big climaxes of the book where they had these like starving rats. And like, I haven't read it since I was in high school, but the way I remember it was just like they were trying to get this dude to snitch, and they had the cage, but then there was like dividers in the cage. And
Hmm.
as they're interrogating him, they're like moving the dividers, and the starving rats are just getting closer and closer to his
Shit.
face. And I remember like imagining that in my head and being fucking terrified.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty rough, man. I like that. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think after the Riddler got caught, okay. After the Riddler, hear me out. Please, anybody, I want your feedback. But this is how I would play it, or at least made more sense to me, because they're obviously gonna make more movies, right? That's their plan. Riddler gets caught, right? Batman goes to visit, and then Riddler tells him, "Hey, there's a bigger plan going on here. Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do?" everything starts blowing up. Keep all that in. Everything starts blowing up the way it did. Meanwhile, mystery guest in the next sales, oh, I love your work. Maybe we should partner up. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Fade to black because guess what? Shit's coming down.
Hmm.
Instead, we got a whole nother fucking scene that it was kind of disconnected because
Yeah.
hey, Riddler's in the prison. So I don't know. It's just a disconnected scene, and they tried to make Batman more into a hero right there, where it's like
Hmm.
he's not ready for that. This dude, he's still year two. He needs to learn a little bit more. You know what I mean? They should have just left him. Hey, the city just got fucked up. You did nothing. This is breaking you down even more. And then, I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I get it. And it's not necessarily a counter argument to that, but my thing to tell people like, hey, you might want to consider, right? Is that how many Batman movies have there been?
There's
Like
been a few,
live action Batman, we've
quite a few.
had about
Yes.
seven, no, eight if you include the one from 66.
And we're not going to include that one. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
So technically it'd be eight, right? So you have
Okay.
the 1966 Adam West Batman.
Isn't that the
That,
one where the shark jumps out of it?
yeah. Yeah. And the shark repellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Which also causes the shark to blow up.
Yeah. Good
S-
shit. They
Some
should
days,
incorporate
you
that
can't get rid of a bomb.
into
Right?
the new Batman somehow.
So
Make that shit modern.
you got that one. You have Batman, Batman Returns, Batman
Yes.
Forever, Batman and Robin, right?
Hmm.
Was it
We don't talk about Batman and Robin.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, right?
Hmm.
Oh, actually, no, there's more. There's those eight, and then technically we got like
The animes.
BVS,
Oh,
Batman
BB.
versus Superman,
That's right.
and then the
And we
Justice
got the
League.
and we got are we including the animated ones?
Yeah, well, if we say theatrical animated ones, then
Yeah.
it's Mask of the Phantasm.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't think any of the other ones were actually theatrical released.
No?
They were direct to video because that
Killing
was part
Joke?
of that like DC
Okay.
home universe thing. But yeah,
Okay.
like
There's been a lot. There's been a lot. Yes.
easily 10 screen portrayals of Batman, right? So
Yes.
take all of that into consideration. So
Absolutely.
you can
Absolutely.
forego the whole like my parents died,
Yes.
whatever.
Agree.
People will just accept and agree that like, hey, this is a world that Batman lives in, right? Boom,
Yes.
sold. Just like
Agree.
Spider-Man, right? You can hit the ground running, right? Same thing.
Agree. 102%.
But with this movie, right? They have a set amount of time
Hmm.
where they have to show you everyone what they like, what they want to see, something new, something
True.
completely different than any other incarnation that's come before it. But
True.
then stuff that's like super true to content, right? They got to
Right.
sell you on this actor who's playing Batman who was known for a completely different role,
Yes.
right? And then they have to like buy you in to say like, hey, I'm going to commit for like the next 10 years to see two or three more of these movies.
I am tracking. I am
So
tracking.
if you put all that together, right,
Right.
you can easily see how this movie ballooned from like an hour and 40 minutes to
No.
3 hours,
Three
right? Not
hours.
saying that it's right,
No, no, no.
but you
See,
could see
I
like
think the two.
a
I
line
think the
of
2 hour mark, though. I think the 2 hour mark is right when like the Riddler got caught. I mean,
yeah.
you seen it twice, so double check with that.
Oh
But I
yeah.
believe, and I'm telling you, like 2 hours 15, 2 hours. Because here's the problem I had. I've been in movie theaters where I watched 3 hour movies before.
Hmm.
And usually those movies, I don't check my watch. I don't care what time it is. I'm just like, holy cow. This one, I check my watch constantly. I'm just like, dude, what's happening here? When is this over? And so that's an issue. That thing that you lose your audience a little bit when you drag it on like that. So I mean, what's done is done, but I can see people's gripes with it.
Oh yeah. No, I could totally see that too. And that was my whole like, hey, there's a lot
Yeah.
of things to consider, like the Snyder cut just blew
Yes.
up. That one's like 4 hours long, right?
4 hours.
Yeah.
That's I'm glad you mentioned that. That's a
Yeah.
perfect example. I've seen the Snyder Cut twice. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. So, this one will be hard to sit through again,
Yeah.
at
Well,
least fully.
I sat through it a second time, and I was kind of tired because it was like an after work thing,
Hmm.
and I was definitely feeling it like,
Hmm.
the first
Yeah.
time, because I'm a mark, so I was just like all in. The second
Uh-huh.
time, the 3 hours, I was feeling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But
So I mean, that was my only issue. Is I think there's just that last maybe like 40 minutes. It was just like, all right,
mhm.
I think we got the point. I think they should have saved some of that. Like that would have been a hell of a cliffhanger. Yet still, hey, Riddler's in jail. But guess what? What did you really do? You know, and then
Yeah,
holy shit, what's about to happen next? You know, some shit like that. You know.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I would say, um, behind behind the 1989 Batman movie,
Uh huh.
this is probably the strongest first franchise movie out of any of them.
Think so.
Well,
Both.
it's stronger than BVS, and it's to me, it's stronger than Batman Begins.
Hmm.
Like this, like I felt if you stack this one up with Batman Begins, this one would knock Batman Begins out of the water. Because Batman Begins didn't really blow up until like The Dark Knight.
That is true. I will give you that. That is
Yeah,
very,
because
very
most
true.
people were kind of like, even I was kind of like,
However,
that was all right.
see now, I loved it. I loved it.
Batman Begins,
Yes, I
even
remember. Yeah,
like first viewing right out the
first
gate,
viewing, I
you were
was like,
like, this
holy
is
shit,
awesome.
this is a different fucking take. This is awesome. Because you got to keep in mind, Batman Begins. That was after what? That was after Batman and Robin, which was a disaster.
Hmm.
Which is like a guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah, I said it. All right, I'll watch that shit. But it was a disaster, and it came what 8 years after, 10 years after, something like that, and then
Like
boom,
I was probably like 10 when it came out, so
yeah. So
I thought it was the
Christian Bale
greatest
came
thing
in and,
ever.
and killed it, and so um, yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. This one's a close one for me personally.
How would you rank your top three Batman movies?
Number one for me, definitely The Dark Knight. That's number one. Number two, uh, you said top three.
Yeah.
There's it's between Batman, Michael Keaton, and I want to say this one right now, the Robert Pattinson one. It's just overall, this is the overall that last 40 minutes of drug on really bugged me. So that's what's hurting me. So I think I'm gonna put that one number three for me. Yeah.
Your three is the same as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, The Dark Knight, 89 Batman, and this one.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding. I would have expected yours to be up there. This one up there higher.
Well, because I mean, overall, like trying to be completely objective for the top
Yes.
movie,
Right.
The Dark Knight is like acting, cinematography,
Yes.
score,
Yes.
content.
You
Like
know,
there's no breaks in between any of that. It's
I'm
just
I'm
everything is
so glad.
firing at tens.
Yes, I'm so glad we're on the same
Yeah.
page with that one because I was like, man, he's gonna hate me for saying this because I was gonna be
Oh
like,
no.
Dark Knight still wins it for me as far as overall everything.
Yeah.
So,
So
but yeah,
yeah,
I
that
mean,
one and then 89, like, you and I were at the height of Batmania
yes,
where it was
I
just
still
like,
I was a kid. I still remember going to the theaters to see that movie. My mom took me to see that movie. I'm just blown away.
yeah, I literally like all the pictures and everything from like even before I remember things, like everything was just like Batman out.
Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean? So it's
yep,
like I don't remember a world without that. So
yes.
that's I've probably seen that movie. That's I don't know. I think the only movie I have probably seen even close to that many times, or at least as many times as that, is probably the original Ninja Turtles.
The which I will say still holds water today.
100%.
Still holds water. That movie still holds up today, and I
Oh
will
yeah.
argue. I will fight anybody on that. All right, I'm sorry. That was legit movie Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah. But yeah, 89 Batman, like right there. And then this one I would say is like at number 3,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like I have to give the 89 one the nostalgia score, but then
Yes.
also too like the aesthetics and like them going for it, like with
Yes.
what they did. And there was nothing like that at that time.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. So 89 is still up there for me too. Um, yeah, because what Tim Burton did,
First
I
two.
mean, nothing. Yeah, it was like, huh?
He did the first two.
He did the first two. I'm saying what he did, nothing has been done with Batman like that. It was like, all right, we had Adam West, and then Tim Burton took over. It's like, all right, here's your real Batman, and then boom. So that one's always going to be up there for me. And then you put Michael Keaton in there, which at the time I had to do some research on that. I didn't know that people didn't like that. People
No.
didn't. Everybody was like, "No, that sounds familiar, right? It sounds familiar." Same thing they did with Heath. Same thing they did with Ben Affleck. It's like, no, 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 and then they come in and kill it. It's like, oh, in your face. So yeah, man.
What would you say is your least favorite Batman movie?
Oh, so it's. I would have to say, um, Batman and Robin is the worst one of them all. It's just they went way too Adam West campy on it. It was just like way too. So, because I mean, Forever was pretty. Forever was the start. Forever was the start of it, like getting out of control. And then Batman and Robin came, and it was like, huh, guess what? We're a cartoon now. You know. So,
You ready for a hot take?
yes.
I like Batman and Robin more than Dark Knight Rises.
Oh shit! Shots fired. All right. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. You have the floor.
I had a lot of problems with Dark Knight Rises.
Okay. Let's hear them. Let's hear them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
educate me.
well, first of all, like when I saw it in IMAX,
Okay.
I couldn't understand like anything that was going on in the sewer scene because the whole theater was rumbling, right? Because of like the Bane voice and stuff like
Yes.
that. And then the whole one of the biggest issues I had with it, right, was that Batman became Batman because his parents were murdered,
Yes.
right? So then in the Dark Knight, his girlfriend gets blowed up, and then he quits being Batman,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's
That
like
is true.
his parents getting murdered in front of him totally like changed his life and made him decide
Yes.
that he was going to go do all this stuff. But then it's like, oh well, his girlfriend got blowed up, and then he got really sad, and then he quit being Batman for like 6 years or whatever.
I never really thought about that, dude.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, that's kind of silly. And then I didn't really. I know everyone loved Bane and like his mask and his
Yeah.
voice and all that stuff, right? I thought that the voice became a bit much after a while, just like how Christian Bale's voice kind of became a bit much
Mm-hmm.
in the third movie. And then that whole like thing with Talia al Ghul, I thought that was kind of silly.
It was a little silly.
Yeah.
It was a little cheesy.
And then like, the bomb and stuff like that, and him trying to get rid of the bomb. And then,
Then survives
uh,
it, and then
yeah. And then I
spoilers.
also really, really disliked Anne Hathaway's performance as Catwoman.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm just Catwoman. Like she was giving me
Hold it
like,
in, huh?
yeah, like the way that she was like acting, it's not like, as someone who's seen enough Skinamax in my life, like she sounded like she was like on a Skinamax like
Yeah,
parody
she's
of
not the best
Batman.
at Catwoman, definitely.
Yeah. So I
But to put that one, whew,
Yeah, I tried watching it again,
Uh huh.
and I just really didn't. It didn't really do anything for me.
That's an interesting point you made as far
Yeah.
as like, oh yeah, his girlfriend dies and he just quits being. But you know what that made me think of right now? A little bit off topic, a different movie,
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars, which one was it? The Force Awakens.
You know, you're talking about the one after where Luke is like, ah, I
Oh
guess
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to
yeah,
be a
yeah,
Jedi anymore.
yeah, yeah. Not the Force Awakens. Force Awakens is the one I like.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi. That
Yeah.
one. Yeah, he's like, oh well, nope, this is
Yeah.
stupid. Oh, I had a dream about fucking Kylo, and I had to kill him. Some shit like that. Like, really,
Yeah.
this is completely out of character.
Yeah.
For so
And
that
blow it
makes
up,
a lot of
yeah,
sense.
blow it up Death Star. His aunt and uncle get killed. Like,
Right, right.
he kisses his sister, and then they try and find out that she's a princess, and they're trying to
Yes.
save everyone. And he meets a giant fuzzy friend, and all kinds of adventure. And they save the Ewoks, and his dad helps them, and like all of
Yep.
that happens. And then all of a sudden, he's just like, "I had a bad dream, so this is all
Yes.
over." Like,
Right. It was
it's
completely out of character. And I now with you saying that, I understand where you're coming from because
yeah,
that's exactly. And keep in mind, I felt that way before I watched any movie review of Star Wars, The Last Jedi, or anybody. Listen to anybody's influence. At the end of that movie, I put my hands up like this, like what the fuck was that? And then I went on social media and was like, oh, okay, everybody, it's not just me. But that's the first I've it's ever been pointed out that happened. Like I never really saw it that way for Batman.
you know what I liked even less than Luke being sad and turning his back on Jedi's
What's that?
was when they Carrie Fisher died in real life, and they
Yes.
had a great opportunity for her to go out like a
General.
general and like a boss,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you. What
and,
is that?
and then she's
Come
like
on.
floating through space and using the
And
force, and it's
uses
like,
Space Force and
dude, like
yes.
they literally could have like phoned in her scenes
Yep.
after by just putting like a filter on her to make her a force ghost, and she still
Yeah.
could have been in like most of the scenes that she was in.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that
They
was like,
really screwed that. Oh man. You
yeah.
know what? That's we're gonna save that for another podcast because I'm telling you, The Last Jedi really ruined a lot of things for Star
Dude,
Wars.
I love, I know people say like, oh, the fan service, but I love The Force Awakens like a lot. Like
Yes, me
I
too.
was super into it. Like,
I was amped for The Last Jedi because of The Force Awakens and
yeah,
because of the trailer that dropped because of The Last Jedi. I was like, "Oh, this is
yeah,
going to be the best movie ever."
yeah.
The
But that
biggest
dude, like,
disappointment ever.
I felt like he just went out of his way to undo everything that happened in the
Yes.
previous ones, and then
Oh
it's
my
like,
god, what a fucking fu
yeah.
to everybody.
Well,
Including JJ, you know?
well, you know, the coolest thing about all of that is that you're always going to have the ones that you like, and then you could just not watch the other ones, you know?
Yes. That's right. That's right. And
It's,
then I mean, luckily, with Kevin Feige, they're really fixing a lot of it right now with the streaming service, including Obi-Wan. Did you see the trailer?
oh, hell yeah. That
Dude,
trailer looks awesome, dude.
when
It
they
looks like,
dropped the Duel of Fates,
dude,
I mean, I've never seen a beat drop. I've never had a trailer where a beat drop and brought me chills, bro. I was like, oh, they're doing it. They're doing it. So that
it
was really
looks expensive.
nice. Yes.
Very expensive. I know where all the money from the first four episodes of Boba Fett went when they were using those like Power
Yes.
Ranger sound stages, like the
It
crappy
looks
ass like
yes,
stucco.
and it looks
And
like it's gonna pay off too.
oh, dude, yeah, those Inquisitors look pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, honestly, I didn't know what an Inquisitor was. I was like, what? Because I never watched an animated series, so
yeah,
it was always movies only. I never watched any other canon other
uh-huh.
than the movies. So I'm like, what the hell is this? I had to look online. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a big deal. So yeah, but yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I can't. I mean, we were 2 months and change away from that.
That's right. So yeah, yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. Can't wait for that.
Hell yeah, dude. So that's it.
I
That's it
think
for
I
the
think
Batman.
that's it. Yeah. Oh, actually, oh here. What was your favorite part
Of the Batman.
as a Batman?
Okay, I'll tell you my favorite part right now. And I'm gonna geek out a little bit, and I'm probably gonna embarrass myself. It's gonna be on the internet forever, but I'm just gonna say it straight up. When they were at the warehouse and they were fucking in that shootout, Batman disappears, and then you hear that motherfucking Batmobile start up. Bro, I don't know what happened to me. I was like, oh, I was like in the theater. I'm like, oh shit, this is it, this is it. And he just gets louder and louder. I'm like, oh man, I got chills, bro. My eyes started to get a little water. Like, this is it. So yeah, I mean that happened for real, real time. I was like, fuck. And he just takes off. I'm like, yes. And it's not even like a flashy Batmobile like all the other ones. This is just a fucking muscle bound missile. Fucking, it's awesome, and it got me excited. That's the best part for me.
Oh yeah, that is my second favorite part.
Yeah, what's your
Yeah,
first?
yeah. My first favorite part was when he was escaping the police station.
Punch
When
Jim Gordon.
yeah, because he's like, "Cause you punched me,"
Yeah.
and he punches. He runs through the gate, and then all the cops are chasing him. And then he does the like with the
Yeah.
grappling hook, and then he's
Yeah.
like flying up the middle of the stairwell while everyone else is running around him. Like that was like, because
I,
like
I like after they met at the light, and he was like, "You could have pulled that punch." He's like, "I did."
like to me, Batman, it's a big part detective, but
Yes.
it's also a very big part adventure, right?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
ever since I was a little kid and Batman the animated series, like some of my favorite episodes were when he would go against Raja Ghul,
Yeah.
and then it was like, did you watch the cartoon?
No,
Oh, dude,
not.
you have HBO Max, right?
I do.
I will
Yeah.
give you one of those as homework for the next one. But there's like these episodes where it was like an old, because like I spent a lot of time with my grandparents when I was little, so I watched a lot of old movies, right? So
Okay.
it's like there's these episodes where they kind of reference like these old movies and stuff where he goes up against Raja Ghul and he's wearing the cowl, but like no shirt, getting into sword fights, like Sinbad
Yeah.
and the Ray Harryhausen
Oh
stuff.
shit.
So it's like when the adventure part of it, it's always huge to me. So when he shot that up and then he was like like that, and I could hear the da-na-na-na-na, like the old music, like when he was in the original one, like
Yes.
going. And then
Yes.
for like you talk about like the member berries, and that was like for me, I was like 5 for like 2 seconds when he was like that, like flying up there. I was
Yes.
like a little kid, just like yes.
Yeah,
And
man.
yeah, my eyes watered too during
I
that
talked
and
to
the
Rob,
Batman.
man. He played the shit out of Batman.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know what? There's one more issue.
Oh,
I know
okay.
they're gonna work through. I know they're gonna
Dude.
work through. I get why they did it, but the issue is that Robert Pattinson played Batman. When he took off the makeup in the cowl, he was still Batman. You know what I mean? There was no Bruce Wayne yet. He hasn't learned that yet. And I get it, but it was just like it's what nobody's used to. Everybody's used to that. He's one, he's another. And I know it's his year 2, and he's still working that shit out. But it was like, it was missing, and that made something missing. You know what I mean?
Well, that's part of like a thing with Batman and Superman, right?
Yeah.
Where there's like a whole like thought about it where the hero is their identity
Yep.
and the person is their secret identity,
That's right.
right? Because
That's
it's
right.
like, Superman, he's a fucking alien from a different planet and whatever.
Yep.
And he had to make a regular
A
identity
whole
to
character
that's a secret
to fit
identity
in.
to fit in with everyone else. And the same
Yep.
with Batman, where it's like he's Batman, excuse me. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Bruce Wayne is the identity that can fuel his adventure and fuel him getting access to people and
Yep.
being out and things like that, right?
Mhm.
So all of this, the issues that everyone can have with the movie,
Mhm.
potentially they could all be ironed out by the next one,
Yeah, I know
where
that's what they're doing. I
they
know that's what they're doing. It's just
they set a huge groundwork, right?
yep.
Because it's like potentially they could explore more of like that Court of the Owls thing with like the Arkhams, there was no man's land in the 90s where this big earthquake destroyed Gotham. So
Mhm.
there was all these gangs that popped up, through the villains. There's also more recently in it's not the new 52, it was a thing after that, but they had the Joker War where
Okay.
Batman, or sorry, where the joke,
Joker isn't it riddles and jokes war or something like that?
yeah, well, it was the war between the Riddler and the
And the
Joker
Joker,
where they
yes,
split all the villains into two factions and they're
yes,
going at it with each other. And
yes.
yeah, if Kite Man shows up in like the next Batman movie, because every time you say Kite Man, you gotta say hell yeah. Because in the comic, he was just like some nobody, and his whole
Yeah,
Kite Man, hell yeah. He ended up being one of the heroes of like the fucking Joker War with
really.
Riddler. Yeah, so if he shows up in the next one, I'm gonna lose my shit. Like,
That's probably what they're going for, the Jokers and Riddler war. Because they're gonna be. What is your thoughts on the new Joker?
yeah, I haven't seen enough, but I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm down.
I feel like this vibe though, the way they portray Gotham, it fits into Joaquin's Joker and to Joaquin's Gotham. You know, into that mood, into that that sense of mental illness type.
Well,
You know,
well, I'll
you know
tell
what I
you
mean?
what. If they paired up this Batman with Joaquin Joker's Joker,
Hmm.
that movie, it had to give you some Xanax with your popcorn when you
It'd
walked
be
in there,
insane.
because
It'd
it
be
would
insane.
be dark,
Yeah.
sad. It would just so depressed. It would be like the most depressing movie. Like there would be like Schindler's List, this like crossover
At the
moving, and then
end,
like
at the end,
Sophie's
they're just
Choice.
back to back with each other, and they're like, "I'm sad. I'm sad too." Just, we should hug.
I laugh when I cry.
Yes. If I walk out, what the fuck just happened? Why do I need a therapist?
Yeah, that would be like ultra depressing. But yeah, no, I'm in.
Yeah.
Give me more of this stuff. And
Yeah. So
I'd
they have so
rather.
many Jokers out now. You know. I mean.
Well, it is canon. I have the books on that too. There, you
Huh.
should look it up. The Three Jokers.
Okay.
That was something that happened a while back, where they were trying to figure out the mystery and like the Joker's identity. Because
Okay.
there's multiple Jokers cruising around. So yeah, you should look into that.
All right.
I don't want to spoil it. So maybe that'll be one of the future homework assignments. Right, I could mail you the trade and you could flip through it. It'll probably only take you like an hour to flip through it or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, but there was that one too. So it even is canon for there to be more than one Joker in the Batman universe, or
Really.
sorry, I should say universe, in that Earth, whatever Earth they're on, because all the Batman can live together. Because we have Keaton coming back for two of them. He's coming
Wow.
back for the
That,
Flash and he's
that's
coming back for
awesome.
Batgirl.
Yes, that's awesome.
Which, dude, ain't that some shit? Did you hear about that?
No.
So this movie, man, it's made a bunch of movie, right? Like I'll even look it up. Let's see. Uh, how much has Batman made so far? We are recording on the 11th. Uh, oh, this is from the 6th. Oh, I updated. 248.5 million so far, right? Which is pretty huge, $250 million, right? So this happens, and then before the movie, do you remember that like hero trailer where there's like, check out all these other movies coming out this year: Black
Yes.
Adam, The
Yeah.
Flash, Aquaman. All three of
Oh,
those
they got
movies,
delayed, right?
they all got delayed to 2023. What the fuck?
Wow. Why? What are they doing?
I don't
They're
know,
doing it
man.
wrong.
Yeah, but they did move Shazam 2 up.
Okay.
But yeah, like the three big movies that they're showing in there, they just push all of them out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm in. Just
shit
keep
together.
giving me more.
Yeah. No, I'm in. I mean, once that sequel comes out, I will be there day one. So I mean, or week one, I should say, depending on the schedule.
Oh yeah, it's on. All right. Well, uh we'll wrap it up. And since we were so heavy on the
Yes,
Batman
wrap it
talk,
up.
we'll save King of Kong for next week.
King of Kong.
King
Good,
of
good.
Kong.
Yes, we're
We'll
gonna say
save
that
that
for
one
next
for
week.
next week.
I like it.
Got
I like
that.
it.
And then I already know what I'm giving you for homework the week after that.
Oh, that's exciting. All right,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right.
You thought you were done with homework? Surprise, bitch.
Surprise, motherfucker.
All right. Well, we're not done until you spit your line at everyone.
Which one? I got to puke or diapers full?
We'll go with diapers full.
Diapers full.